draw attention towards himself. And he does so successfully. We've seen the only other politician who is able to do this is President William Ruto. And by last week, with his proposal about Vision 2060, the conversation went towards him. He's launching it today, the conversation. He was also in Naivasha discussing about coalition building, his own coalition building. Yet all the MPs who are there, they found it suitable to respond to Rigathi Gachagua, as opposed to talk about their own plans towards 2027. Don't you think that, yes, there's a very serious competition about who controls the narrative as we make this countdown towards 2027?
Fred, the fact that we can sit here and you tell us that you know, we should discuss Rigathi Gachagua because he's on the, you know, the headlines today is an indictment on the credibility and interest of the media. That when Kenya is launching a public conversation on where we need to go for the next 30 years, a vision that would, you know, transform this country, and that would focus not only on the political framework that we are focused on for 60 or so years, but rather on Article 43 and a charter on which, you know, governing individuals and governments would be committed to, and the responsibility of the nation to ensure that we deliver the promise of the Constitution to the people of Kenya. The media then decides to let us discuss a madman who appeared in the market naked and dancing on the platform, and that is news, and that then makes him a national phenomenon. It is unfortunate. And it's unfortunate especially because in his own words yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua did say that this was not an audit that was mandated by a credible entity that you know, followed a methodology that can be tested and verified, and that was, you know, peer reviewed by experts, but rather a script that he developed in his bedroom, and then using, I mean, the wife in the bedroom did type it for him. And so it is rumors. It is unfortunate. And in doing that, this is a gentleman who spent 2 of the 4 years in government as the deputy president. Okay? He did not tell us what policies, what programs, what interventions he brought to the table and what he opposed amongst what was developed. We know, for instance, that Rigathi Gachagua was a zealot of the affordable housing program. We know, for instance, that Rigathi Gachagua presided over some of, you know, the most regrettable moments in human rights abuses. We have it from people who sat with him in office that he sat and planned the, you know, attack, raid of Uhuru Kenyatta's farm, the Kenyatta family's farm, and the theft of their property. We know that this is a man who, while the Constitution and the responsibility of leadership expected him to, you know, pursue a nationalist agenda, pursued a sectarian ethnic agenda, and was very comfortable that the rest of the country was out of government. I can tell you, and I speak here as an individual, but I also speak as a voice of the people of Kisumu City, Kisumu Central, that this is a gentleman that should be confined to the dustbin of Kenya's political history, forgotten and never discussed. And I would dare say, as I finish, that the media needs to get serious. We are discussing a national program, a 30-year vision, and auditing the Vision 2030. We need to focus on this.
All right.
That's my view.
All right. And I'll give you an opportunity. And you describe Rigathi Gachagua as a madman in the market, incoherent, not suitable to speak to anyone. Actually, he should be ignored. So tell me, was it the most prudent use of their time when those leaders, majority leader, minority leader in the National Assembly, all these leaders, including CSs, called the press conference simply to respond to Rigathi Gachagua? The DCI found it important to respond to him?
In my view, it was an era. It was proper for DCI as an institution to respond to certain wild allegations that he made. However, I think politically it was an era for the, an entity that had sat down and is crafting a governance framework in which the two major and most enduring parties in this moment are coming together and setting up a framework for refining their manifestos into one manifesto, to then have a joint approach to the election and to present Kenyans of what they are going to do, especially in taking Kenya to the next level. I think the minutes spent in addressing and replying to Rigathi Gachagua was an era. If I was there as an advisor, I would have told them, please, let's focus.
Right.
Yeah. This is a madman in the market.
Thank you. I think to start with, he needs to withdraw his words, a madman in the market. It's unfortunate that an advocate of the High Court of Kenya would come on national TV and decide to call other people madmen. That is unacceptable.